you. Good morning, everybody. Excited to be back in Singapore. This is my third time here, and I'm so excited to share my journey with you. At 18 years old, I discovered New York City. And I had this moment of cliche rebellion where I said, the rules of the church, that's not fun anymore. I want to party. I want to live a big life. And I learned there was actually a job in New York City where you could have a pretty good shot at doing this, and it was called a nightclub promoter. I think that the car I drive and the grand piano in my New York City apartment, all of these markers of success, I think this is what life is about. And inside, I was morally bankrupt, spiritually bankrupt, emotionally bankrupt. 10 years into this, at 28, I wake up one day and I just say, I need to make a change. I said, I'm going to go and volunteer on a humanitarian mission for 1 year and see if anything that I've learned could be useful to others. And at 28 years old, I went into post-war Liberia, accompanied by 14,000 United Nations peacekeepers. And I joined this mission as a photojournalist. So we would post these flyers looking for people who we hope to help, people with facial tumors, with flesh-eating disease, people who were born with cleft lips or cleft palates. So that first year, I documented 1,500 people before and after their procedure. And after the year finished, I just said, I want to do another year. And it was in that second year that I learned what was making so many people sick. And it was something so simple. It was dirty water. As I would go through the rural areas, I would see the water sources people were drinking. They were green swamps, they were ponds, they were rivers. I learned that half of the disease in the country, according to the World Health Organization, was caused by dirty water and a lack of sanitation and hygiene. And I came back to New York City completely transformed through this experience with a very clear purpose. I was going to try to bring clean water to everyone on earth before I died. So I started the organization 17 years ago as I came back from Africa. I was 30 years old. I had this very clear idea. But as I started to talk to my friends, I realized there was going to be a big problem for me. Because in our country, so many people don't trust charities. And I thought, wouldn't it be amazing if we could go out to the public and promise that 100% of any donation ever given around the world would go directly to build water projects and get people clean water. I wasn't sure how we would pull this off, but I opened up 2 distinct, separately audited bank accounts and made this promise that every penny we would ever receive from the public would go straight to the field. And in this second bank account, somehow we would convince visionary philanthropists to pay for the overhead, to pay for the staff's salaries and the flights and the office costs and the toner for the Epson copy machines. This would be a unique advantage over 99.5% or so of charities. The second thing was, because we kept the money funds separate, we would be able to build technology and just show people where their money went. The third pillar was this idea of trying to build a beautiful and imaginative and inspirational brand. So we put these 3 things together, and the most important thing about the business model was we would only work with local partners in each of these countries. I believe for the work to be culturally appropriate, for it to be sustainable, it had to be led by the locals everywhere we went. And if we succeeded, we would create local jobs. So I put all this together, and I'm sad to say the best idea I had 17 years ago was to throw myself a party in a nightclub to launch Charity Water. I was turning 31. No gray hair back then, and I got the club donated. I gave everybody open bar for an hour, and as they came in, they had to put $20 in this big plexi box. And at the end of the night, we'd collected $15,000. And we took 100% of that money to a refugee camp in East Africa, and we built our very first well. And then we sent the photos and the GPS coordinates and video back to those 700 people, and we said, your $20 went here. It accomplished this. People were so blown away by seeing where a small amount of money went that they began to tell their friends, and the movement began to spread. Then we came up with this really cool idea. On our 1-year anniversary, I thought, well, I threw a birthday party, and people came and raised money. What if I cancel the birthday party? What if I donate my birthday? And I was turning 32, and I thought the sticky marketing message would be, I'm going to ask everyone for $32. $32 for my 32nd birthday. So I go out there and I raise about $59,000 without spending a penny. This birthday movement began to grow for us, and a few years later, people had raised over $100 million on this platform and inspiring over 1 million people to donate to these campaigns. We came across the problem of broken projects, stranded assets around the world, and it kills you to drive by a well that you knew once was providing life for the community but isn't. Something went wrong, and nobody knew that it went wrong. So I went to Google and convinced them to give us $5 million as an innovation grant to try to develop a smart well, a sensor. This would be an incredibly difficult spec. It would have to take reliable measurements and transmit from anywhere in the world, food-grade plastic, temperature-resistant. But after 5 years of trial and error, we finally had a pilot, our first viable sensor. And we can see exactly how many liters are flowing every single day. Maybe some of you are saying, all right, well, how do you maintain this 100% model? How is it possible that you can give away all the birthday gifts? It's very simple. It's a group of families that make up a giving program called The Well. They give at levels starting at $100,000 a year, up to $1 million a year, and every family signs a 3-year commitment. So we can plan cash flow. As we go forward, we're working on a new initiative now that I'm so excited about called 1 Million Lives. We are going out to families, we are going out to corporations, we're going out to foundations, and we're saying, raise your hand and give 1 million people water over the next 10 years. I'll end on this picture. Somebody sent me this the very first year of Charity Water. They were passing a New York City deli, and the sign said, do not be afraid of work with no end. There's no finish line. There's no drop the mic moment. We did it. Now let's go focus on ourselves again and get rich. And I can tell you from personal experience, there's a freedom in positioning your life, the intention, the purpose of your life to improve the lives of others. Thank you so much for letting me share this morning. God bless you guys.
Everybody, once again, Mr. Scott Harrison.